Hello everybody and welcome back to the Fortress of Solitude. Today we're going to be checking out a Green Lantern issue 14 by Jeremy Adams and Fernando Pasarin. Hal Jordan's mission into Waller's base takes a turn when getting his ring back doesn't go all to plan, and Waller's task forces are alerted to his presence. While Hal deals with them, Alan continues to develop one of my favourite storylines of Absolute Power as he continues to spar with Jadestone, this time over chess, chatting with the Amazo and teaching him about the concept of joy in the little things, like making your own choices. I love that Alan gets to play a pretty important role in this event, and it's developed Jadestone into easily the most fleshed out Amazo next to Failsafe. I applaud Adams for taking what could have just been another nondescript villain of a tie-in and building them up in a really unique way. Jadestone ponders choices but is pulled away by the base's alarms blaring thanks to Hal being found. Hal, meanwhile, despite being in a warehouse filled with deadly weapons, can only seem to reach less than lethal weapons like Condiment King's guns, and he has to battle the villains with spicy mustard. This fight was a lot of fun since it was just pure Hal Jordan chaos. He's just making it up on the fly, using things like Blue Devil's trident and Javelin's javelins to fight off the soldiers. Just as Hal thinks he's got the edge on these villains, Jadestone turns up to deal with the powerless hero. The Justice Society, meanwhile, continue to take refuge inside the Tower of Fate, and Carol Ferris is still with them, pondering just how her life, which was looking to be rather stable and normal for once, ended up like this. I really like when the book has shifted to Carol's POV, giving us a rather normal, everyday person's take on what's been going on. The heroes of the Justice Society wonder how they can fight back against Waller's forces when they have lost so many of their powers, and Stripe suggests that they get reinforcements and bring them to the Tower of Fate for safekeeping. But the rest of the heroes believe that that's going to be difficult, with Waller's Amazos snatching up powered people left, right and center. It's Stitch and Salem who suggest that they use someone who both has superpowers and is a complete unknown to Waller, and Carol realizes that she is being volunteered for this mission in a not very discreet way. I adored this part of the book as Carol wonders if even she has what it takes to be a hero, and it's something that she's been dealing with over the course of the Task Force 7 tie-in and these last couple of issues of Green Lantern, whether she can actually be a hero again and whether she wants to be a hero again. And I like how she's been saddled with the JSA, who at the moment are just like kids. They're like Stargirl and Stitch and Salem, all these kids, and she's seeing how it's children who are standing up and maybe stepping up to the plate, then maybe she can as well. And I really like that. I like the idea of the new generation of the JSA are now inspiring people to come back out of hiding and be heroes again. Meanwhile, all the way out on Oa, Tharos assembles his fellow Durlans and tries to assure them that Hal Jordan will no longer be a thorn in their side, since Waller is dealing with him, and now nothing will stop them from consolidating power throughout the universe, being that they have infiltrated the United Planets and various other governments around the world thanks to their shape-shifting abilities. However, nothing really goes to plan for Tharos, as some of the other Durlans begin to have second thoughts about their plans to take away power from the Green Lantern Corps and the United Planets. One of them even suggests just putting things back to the way it was and erasing the memories of the ambassadors they are imitating to avoid detection. But Tharos believes too much security can lead to their downfall, and it's something he's been preying upon since the beginning of this. And I like that Tharos doesn't really care, since their homeworld will see them as heroes, and that seems all that matters to him. And I quite like that it shows how just narrow-minded he is. He's doing all of this for the glory back home, and he's thinking just so small, like he's in charge of the United Planets now. If he wanted, he could probably do some real damage with that, but I like that he's just so little and can't seem to think that big, that he just doesn't want to admit that as well, and he doesn't want to show weakness to his other Durlans because obviously they'll pounce on that and kind of usurp him. So it's definitely made a much more interesting villain now, and I do like that he did turn into that kind of mustache twirling villain a couple of issues ago, and I like that Adams is now building on that and giving him some depth and revealing that he's not cut out for this, but he won't ever admit it. Back on Earth, Hal attempts to evade capture by Jadestone by using every super weapon he can get his hands on against Waller's Amazo superhero. Jadestone isn't just battling Hal as well, but also the Star Heart inside of him, which pulls him in two different directions, whether he should kill or apprehend Hal, and his systems choose to apprehend Hal, who barely escapes using Abracadabra's wand, using it to disappear in a bright explosion, leaving the base in shambles. But when the dust settles, Jadestone believes that he actually killed Hal, and questions himself even more, wondering if he was right to do so, and if that makes him an actual hero or not. Now, Hal obviously didn't die, he teleported away, and he teleported to Themyscira, where he is found by Superman, Batman, and Wonder Woman. Now, we see them go to Themyscira in Absolute Power issue 2 and 3, and lucky for them, Hal doesn't come alone, as he has also brought a few weapons Waller had confiscated, giving the heroes a fighting chance. This was something that I assumed Hal was going to do, like he was going to get one of the jets that were in the base and, fill it full of goodies and just fly it out of there and crash land on Themyscira or wherever the heroes were at that time. And he kind of did that, and I like how it was done in such a Hal Jordan way, a fly by the seat of his pants approach to superheroing. He just willed it to happen, more or less. And I also love that the wand took him to see Superman and Batman, because just before using the wand, he had wished that Bruce or Clark were there to give him a hand, so the wand took him to those people, and I thought that was pretty neat. While Hal and his friends take stock of the weapons they now have, Carol has been equipped with a special teleportation amulet and is teleported from the tower to Hub City by the JSA, with her mission being to just kind of blend in with everyday people and try and find heroes who are hiding out, bring them to the Tower of Fate to reinforce the JSA. Despite blending in with the city's crowds though, she is detected almost immediately by her until recently fiancé Nathan Broom, who has acquired a grey ring, becoming the Sorrow Lantern, and he promises that Carol will soon feel all of his sorrow. Green Lantern issue 14 was a banger of an issue, expanding the Absolute Power event with some great focus on Jadestone and his character development and how the programming and the Star Heart are pulling him in two different directions, all while setting up Carol Ferris in a really cool side story as she reckons with becoming a hero again. The Lantern book has easily been the best tie-in related stuff to Absolute Power, just in terms of fleshing out characters like Jadestone, digging into the background of things like Waller's weapons warehouses, and tying into stuff like this. The Wonder Woman book does this as well in the later issues of its tie-in as well with the prison, and I really like that they can go there with these tie-ins and it's not just something tangentially related to the event, it's actually got stakes in the event, and that's really cool. It keeps the train moving. I'm going to give this issue a 9 out of 10.